minute after the hour of 1 o'clock. And it is time for Playing Forward. And Wizzy here as the engineer, yes, and we got Allison and the crew. And are you there, Allison?
Yes. Hello. Thank you, Wizzy. Hello, everyone. I'm Allison, and you are listening to Play It Forward on WUSB Stony Brook, 90.1 and 107.3 FM. Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday.
All right. Alongside me is my co-host, Kurt, and momentarily we will introduce our guest, Mike Barker, a.k.a. Jersey Mike, not the sandwich guy. Here's Kurt for a closer look at what Play It Forward is all about.
Pretty cool.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. The Play It Forward Project is a nonprofit that raises awareness, educates, and advocates for the fentanyl opioid crisis with a focus on prevention and recovery through peer-to-peer advocacy. On our show, we bring in guests from the field of addiction, people in recovery, and more. We discuss illicit drugs, fentanyl, and substance use disorder. And towards 2 p.m., we shout out some accessible resources, so please tune in. We broadcast live from the Stony Brook University's radio station every other Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. We're now live streaming our previous episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts under Play It Forward and on our YouTube channel at the Play It Forward Project. You can listen to all of our previous shows there. Please listen, and please give us a review or a like or a comment. And you can also follow us on Instagram at sbu.playitforward. We really want to hear from you guys, so please reach out. Let us know what you think of the show. Let us know if you want to hear any particular guests, what we can do differently, how great we are.
Follow us.
Follow us, please. Give us a
Share.
like. Give us some love.
Play it forward.
Yes, yes. Send us some questions, too. For anybody just tuning in, the deadly opioid fentanyl kills one person on average every 11 minutes, or over 200 lives each day, making it the leading cause of deaths for adults ages 18 to 45. This is similar in numbers to a commercial jet crashing every single day. And without further ado, here is Allison.
Thank you, Kurt. Our guest today is Mike Barker, a.k.a. Jersey Mike. I really should have had Kurt do the intro because this is a friend of Kurt's.
Yes, I just saw that.
He's in recovery. And first of all, congratulations on your recovery, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. That's an amazing achievement. Why don't you, on behalf of Play It Forward, welcome. We warmly welcome you. So, Mike, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
All right. First, I just want to say thank you for having me. It's definitely an honor to be here. And I'm Mike, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Mike.
What's going on? So, to start off, just like growing up.
Yeah, when did it all start?
When did it all start?
Yeah.
Or
I don't know. Yeah, give us some background. Give us some background. Like what?
So,
we have an hour show, so you can start from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So,
where were you born?
Englewood, New Jersey. So first of all, growing up, I always felt like not good enough. If I had this person's life, my life would be better. If I had this type of clothes, or if I had this type of whatever.
How old do you remember being, like, really young and thinking those things?
That was more like middle school.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about young, I could see myself being pretty much. I had addicted tendencies at a young age.
Yeah.
For perspective, I'm sorry to interrupt, but for perspective, can we ask how old you are now? So
34.
All right, go ahead, Jersey.
So at a young age, I had like addictive tendencies and stuff, like with toys. I always admired like bars and stuff. Like at a young age, I always was like drinking juice out of like martini glasses and like out of like mugs, and like I always like
stumbling around the playground.
But just like, you know what I mean, like just like I admired that, like
kind of idolizing it. Yeah.
And then as I got older, I started noticing like my dad. This is gonna be a big part of the story. He was in and out of jails, in and out of rehabs, and he like And, like, don't get me wrong. Yes, he was an alcoholic. He had his issues. But at the same time, I don't hate him for it. I don't, like, you know what I mean? But he did the best he could. And
Yeah.
like,
Just part of your story.
yeah. I just want to throw that out there.
Right. Did you see him using at a young age? Was he... You said he was, like, in and out, so that was kind of part of your childhood.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. What were you
More
saying?
than alcohol?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see all that when you were growing up, or, like, did you have an idea?
That was towards, like, when I was more, like in my teenager years. And then...
But you started figuring it out. Okay, like he's doing some stuff. Like, yeah.
Like, oh, he's going away for a month.
Okay.
This and that.
What did you think, like, when you were little and he was going away? Because
I don't even know.
You don't
like,
even. Yeah.
It was just always going away for like either like they said work or like my mom said work. Because
I used to tell Jaden, my son, that I was going to the doctors.
Yeah.
And then and he was just on like a month or two ago, and I was always wondering like why you were going to the doctors.
Yeah.
And so I was curious if you had any memories of that.
Yeah. But then, then was when I started realizing I would get the phone calls like, oh, this is a collect call from whatever county jail. This is...
That's a funny place to work.
Yeah. And, like, I knew about it. And then also, like, in my teenage years, like, he would go to AA. But he never took it serious. He never, like... It was more like he was pleasing my mom or pleasing... Like, he used to work with some AA guys and, like, just to please them, I guess.
Yeah.
Or, who knows? But so I knew there was AA at a young age.
And your parents stayed together through all this?
Yes. Yeah. And, so, and then a little like as I got older, I started getting into like drinking and smoking weed. And then like my mom came, hey, like, you know, this runs in the family. Like dad has a huge problem like with it. And to me, it was just, no.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
No big deal. Like,
but not thinking like this can take over my life.
Oh yeah. Like, not at all. And just to like bring it back a little bit, like I was in special ed and stuff like that, and like, which like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like I loved it. Like it was like, had all my friends there.
Right.
It was like everything. Like, we did the same thing the normal kids did, just at a slower pace. And it also, part of me was like, oh,
I'm different.
Yeah. I'm not as smart as these guys are or something. And so then.
So it sounds like from a pretty early age you felt like different. You weren't the same as these other kids. If you were comparing and playing that whole game of if I had this life, things would be different. If I was smarter, if I wasn't in the like going in that route a little bit.
Yeah. And so
did anybody ever talk to you about? So did anybody flat out come out and say your dad is an alcoholic or an addict? Did anybody? Did you?
Oh, yeah, my mom definitely. Or maybe it's that he has a problem with alcohol.
Yeah.
And
but was there any education for you? Like, was there any? Okay.
Yeah, no education. Just pretty much just telling me like.
Do you think if there was any? I don't like to play the what if game, but do you think that it would have changed anything if you had known or been given any kind of information that, hey, this runs in the family, and like some kind of comprehensive little package of this could happen to you?
I would say no.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, like I don't know.
Yeah,
like, maybe, But to me, like I would have just shrugged it off and. Like,
not me.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah.
Do you have siblings?
Yes, I have one little brother.
Okay, and
he's 20, 27, 28.
Did he struggle?
No.
Okay.
He's the normal one.
Oh, don't
Not
say
that he's normal, but no, he's good, and like that too. Like I put him through a lot of like
worried times.
Yeah, worried times.
Hard to
and
see.
Stuff. Yeah, like I was about to curse. I don't want
Yeah, don't do that. No.
And but you know what I mean. In my addiction, I didn't really care. But
So teenage years.
So teenagers years, I was that's when. So my dad was around, and I was like a little hippie, like long hair, love smoking weed. And then around that time, that's when my dad came to me and was like, "Hey, like, you know, like, what you're you're following my path,
right?
Like, and it could go bad, but at the same time, like."
So you guys had a conversation about it.
Oh yeah. And he's like, just be careful. And then as like pretty much once he found out like I was drinking and stuff like that, it was like I would come home from school, and then he would get home from work and he would buy his half pint or pint or whatever, and get me a tall boy.
Okay.
Or like I was drinking like Arbor Mist, like this like weird wine, like cheap wine, like thinking I'm cool. Yeah.
Wow.
And like we would smoke weed together, and like we would do all this and then hide it from my mom.
Of course,
like,
yeah,
you know, what I mean? We would go separate. Like I would go to my room, he would go like just whatever he was doing, and you know, what I mean, I thought that was our bond.
Yeah,
I thought that was
yeah.
You thought it was cool, probably at the time.
like cool. That was our bond. Like, you know what I mean? Like for me, I didn't have a lot of like. Weren't throwing catch, and like me, I mean, we probably did, but you know what I mean, like stuff like that, and like
we were passing joints.
Exactly. Like, and like he was talking about all like the times back in the day and his fights and his war stories and this and that, and
so kind of glorifying it a little bit. Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah,
you
of
know
course.
what I mean?
Who wouldn't? What teenager
But,
wouldn't, like, especially if you have addictive tendencies already?
Yeah.
Now you got your pops who you idolize spending quality time with his
Yeah.
son.
Yeah.
And
That must have been a confusing message, because on one hand he's telling you you're going down the wrong path. You're
be
you're
careful.
following in my footsteps,
Yeah.
but then he's drinking with you and smoking.
It was that was pretty much just like the first thing,
right.
and then it was like
I just
never talked-
Okay.
Just
Hey,
the,
let me throw this out there. Then okay, let's
let me just
All
make
right.
this disclaimer,
Full
and then
disclosure. Okay, got it.
And then like one of the days, like he would get like either painkillers or something from his friends or whatever, and he would be all energetic and like cleaning the house, and I'm like, oh, like what's this guy on? Like, you're acting a lot different than you normally. And then like he would tell me, and then whatever. Then like he gave me my first Vicodin and stuff like
Wow.
that. And then
wow.
at a little later on, like not that far, but then he was copping dope and stuff.
Okay.
And that too, like
how old were you then? Like early teens, mid teens?
I was like 16, 17.
Okay.
Oh wow, such an
And-
impressionable
Yeah,
age.
totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like
Did he give you your first drink and like your first joint? Was that from him, or
I
like
went
did
to-
you?
No, the first drink and joint was with me and my friends.
Okay.
Like, but
Did you ever go to the bar when you were little?
when I was little, yeah, like,
Yeah.
like they took me around and stuff,
Yeah.
like, and but yeah, so when he was doing dope, like he's like, and it was almost like he was doing good when he was doing dope.
Yeah,
Like, he
yeah.
wasn't doing it every day, but he was bringing in money, giving like whatever the check to my mom. He's cleaning the house, all in, you know what I mean, all like
Yeah.
like the
It
music.
looks
Totally.
like things are okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
manageable, like in the early
Yeah.
stages of it, you know.
And like before all that, like when like before like I even started like drinking with him, like I didn't know what I was gonna walk into coming home from school. Like if he was gonna be passed out, if he
Yeah.
was gonna be mad, if he was gonna be happy, the music blasting,
Yeah.
and this and that.
Was he an angry drunk?
Not really,
Yeah.
but he don't at the same time.
Yeah, he had a temper.
He
Yeah.
did have like he was never like abusive. or
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And so one day he was high on dope, like, and I was like, oh, like it was New Year's 2006 New Year's, and I was like, I want to try it, like, and he's like, all right, and then so I came home from like a party like on New Year's, and then he gave me my first little line of dope,
Wow.
and
Oh, wow.
I like, you know what I mean? It was
Yeah,
like,
that
You
first
fell in
line
love.
is
I fell in
yeah,
love.
yeah.
Like, all my worries were gone.
Yep.
Like, all the weight was lifted. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to glorify it, but like,
No, yeah,
like,
yeah.
I felt
It
like
is what
that-
it is. Yeah.
like that was what I was looking for, like all my life.
Yep.
And
Isn't that wild? Like that because I remember my first line of heroin too, and like, yeah, it just felt like, oh man, this is what I've been missing all this
Yeah.
time. Like I'm finally complete.
That
Yeah.
feeling.
And yeah, it was just incredible.
And it's
Yeah.
so fake.
Yep.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah, it quickly
Yeah.
becomes not fun at all.
but and then that too. Like, we never caught a habit. It was just like when I got paid, when he got paid, and then we just like, and this was before it was so cheap.
Yeah.
Like, it just get like a couple.
Well, and before fentanyl,
and that's
you know,
and that
like
too,
that's.
and that too.
I remember doing it, and somebody had told me if you do it, you'll get dope sick if you do it for more than 3 days. So I was like, okay, like, I'm definitely not going to do that. So I would like do it for 2 days and stop, and then eventually I was like, I'm just gonna keep doing this.
Like, I could do a day, 2 days, 4 days. But and then that's what we're like when I got paid. We would get it, and he got paid. He would get it, and then.
And where was your mom through all this? Did your mom have any idea? No, I mean, no criticism whatsoever.
No,
I'm just trying to put the pieces together.
Like she definitely thought she'd be like, I don't like, she probably had ideas.
The house is so clean.
Like not like me doing dope, but probably me drinking.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And
But moms know.
Oh no, she definitely like maybe not like the dope and all that, but she knew something was
something
going
was
on.
off.
And So and then that progressed to like I started stealing like money from kids at school. Like I started, like I was and all that. I started stealing from my brothers and also he was stealing from us too. Like when I had some money, if he needed money, but this was before I guess the dope. But if he needed money for his drink or something, like, and I had, not that I always had money, but if I had like $10 in my wallet, like. If I didn't have it on me, that was most likely gone.
Oh.
And like I never like it was. I don't know. Like it is like don't get me wrong, it sucks and it's not right. And like honestly, it led me to doing the same thing to my brother and my mom.
Yeah.
And like
I mean, it's the environment that you're in. You know, it's like it kind of makes sense that you fall into that.
Yeah.
It's not really that crazy.
And so.
How were your grades through there? Like school was like were you still like getting by?
Yeah, like I wasn't like a straight A student, but
yeah.
I had all grades, A's, B's.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
A's, B's, and C's, and the ones I needed. And
yeah.
Like,
Did you have any extracurricular activities? Like, were you in any clubs growing up, or
No.
sports?
Skater boy.
Yeah, I was into like skateboarding and
Okay.
rollerblading. That was like it's funny like I was like a big aggressive inline skater, like doing all the tricks and stuff
Cool.
like that. And
What about like
honestly,
graffiti and stuff? Were you doing graffiti back then, or?
Yeah, like just messing around like on paper. But then like
he's really. I'm saying that because he's really good at it now. And
Oh, yeah?
yeah, like I've seen him.
I
So
definitely
you're an artist.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Like an artist.
Yeah.
I
Got
like
some
the way that
artistic
sounds.
tendencies. Yeah.
But yeah, like I got arrested for graffiti. Like I was in high school, like whatever, had to do some community service, and
So
yeah,
as this is
really-
progressing along, you're doing all this stuff. What happens next?
So yeah, pretty much we're doing dope and stuff like that, and like I'm like still hanging out with my friends and still like doing our thing too. So like not that we're really doing anything,
Yeah.
but, like just whatever. It was all like hush hush. And then one of the days he came home. He's like, oh, this was some good stuff. Like the block is talking about it. Blah blah blah. So I'm like, all right, like whatever. Like hurry up, like go do it. And, like,
Yeah.
Let me get my stuff. And so he would always go in the basement to do his stuff, and he was down there a little longer than usual. And part of me
Was
was
he
like,
just not to cut you off,
Yeah.
but I'm going to cut you off? Was he shooting it or?
Yeah,
Okay.
shooting it.
And you were just sniffing it,
I was
right?
just- yeah.
Yeah.
and so I was like, oh, like let me go like see what's up. And then like as I got down there, I saw him like he was on the ground, needle still in his arm,
Oh,
like
no.
he overdosed, and you know what I mean, like like it was messed up, like you know what I mean, at a young age, just see that.
It's shocking
and,
to
like,
see your father.
Yeah.
Did you know he was shooting up at that
Oh
time?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, you
yeah,
did. You
Yeah.
just said.
Yeah. And
Oh my God.
I mean, I ran. We lived next to a pharmacy, and we were cool. Like they were like we're friends with them and stuff. Like the guy who owned it, and like told him. Like I called my mom, I called the police, went there, brought my brother there. He was real young at the time, and he hung out there. And then I just like remember like yeah, like I made sure I hid my stuff also. Like don't get like that's how like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
How, like
Priorities.
yeah. But like it was also like I would just remember like when like the cops came and the ambulance, like how just like nonchalant they were about it. Like just like
No urgency.
yeah, no urgency. Like this is like normal.
Another
to
day.
us, like,
Yeah.
another day. I was just like I wasn't one to like cause a scene. I was just like looking at them like
Yeah.
Was he
What the heck?
revived with Narcan? I mean, or because it was different probably with the.
I don't know. Yeah, there wasn't like that. I don't know about Narcan.
It wasn't readily available then.
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
Well,
This is back in what,
Or whatever they had.
2008
It was
ish.
administered by a needle at that time.
Yeah, but probably not. Like
So you
I
didn't-
mean, they probably didn't do that.
You
Like,
didn't
yeah.
witness anything
No,
like that.
no.
Okay.
And the next day, I mean, I did my stuff, did the dope, and it was just like it was. I don't want to say it was hush hush, but like it was just like. I just remember like we didn't really talk about it that much,
Yeah.
and like obviously it came up, but like it wasn't like I don't you know what I mean, it wasn't like we really talked about it that much, and then just you know what I mean, like slowly, like I stopped doing dope because I couldn't get it, and like
Because he was getting it for you. Yeah.
and like you know what I mean, pills weren't around like that at the
Right.
time and stuff like that.
What year was this? When did he pass?
This was 2007.
Okay.
And so then but like slowly I started just like not caring, like I still got by in school, but like started smoking weed in my room instead of hiding it from my mom, started coming home drunk more.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean, just did that for a while, and just like whenever that like someone did bring up my dad, like I would start like tearing up.
Yeah, of course.
Just not like pretty much like okay, like stop talking about
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah.
And yeah, like it was just like something I held in for so long. And so then like
Do you think
fast
that
forward-
like that perpetuated your using?
Oh yeah.
Like just trying to drown that sorrow, drown that misery, the pain?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like don't get me wrong, like even if that didn't happen, I'd still be used. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I'm sure that just kind of amplified it,
Yeah.
though, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Almost
Like
gives you a
some-
reason.
Yeah, and that too. Like I never looked at it like if you had my life, like you would understand why I used. Like I never like really used that. Like
Yeah.
But at the same time, when that come up,
Yeah.
I would not like say no. Like if like a rehab counselor said something like that, like I'd be like, yeah, like
Yeah. Yeah,
you know
totally.
what I mean? Or like
Makes sense.
yeah, like but like I never looked at it as like I don't know, like it was
Yeah. The
like
reason.
that. Yeah,
yeah.
like a reason to do it.
Yep.
And so then that's when so like to fast forward,
When'd you go to your first rehab or first detox?
I was probably like 23, I think.
Okay. So a
Yeah.
bit after that.
Yeah. Then
Anything monumental in between there?
no, just first it was like all fun and games, like I was working and like smoking and whatever, and just like if pills did come around, we would buy them or whatever, and I would have my little job just to make pretty much my using drinking money.
Yeah.
And
Did you graduate high school?
high school, yes, yeah, and you know, what I mean, I don't want to say like I did nothing, but it was just pretty much like I was just making a check and wasn't paying rent or anything.
Yep.
And just hanging out.
Yeah.
Really.
Play money.
Yeah, and I was doing that for a while, and then the pills came, and then doing the whole pill thing and stealing from my family, stealing
Yep.
from my brother, and then I found out about where to get dope in Jersey, and it was
Game
a lot
over.
cheaper, and just,
Yeah.
yeah, and that became that. That's all I did, and you know what I mean, like just while I was doing it, like showing up, like I lived like a block away from where I used to work, like my old job,
Okay.
like literally like a 3-minute walk, and I would come there late all the time,
Yeah.
like
Because it's only a few minutes away.
yeah, I would have all these
Yeah,
excuses,
traffic.
like and like borrowing money from them and stuff like that, and
Well, they must have known.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't. Yeah, like
They knew something was going on.
Like I never like I one time then I did a little too much. I did some Xanax with it, and then like I had to be there at 9. I got there at 12.
Nice, yeah.
Made some crazy excuse, and then they're like, "All right." And that next Friday, and that was payday. That next Friday, I did the same exact. I didn't come late, but I just came there
to get your paycheck.
Well, no, like I got my paycheck. And
rocked.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, I got my paycheck, then I had to go back at like 12 or something, and that was I was just annihilated.
I did a bunch of Xanax, and I showed up to work, and I dropped a tray of wings and beer on a table, and like caused the whole scene. I got fired, and I showed up to work the next day having no idea that I'd been fired. It was insane. So yeah, those Xanax blackouts are.
And I showed up the next. Like they told me to go home. I showed up the next day, and they're like, oh, "Come talk to like." And like the boss, she was really cool. Like, but like she's like, hey, like. Do you need help?
Yeah.
Like, is that like you're fired? But like, obviously I care. Like no, I'm good. Like it's okay. Like I'll see you later.
No, you guys are the ones that are going to need help when I'm gone.
And
and we're, for anybody listening and thinking that we're making light of this, you know, I think that we make light of it now because it was so awful then. But you know, we're not condoning anything. It's just the way that we cope with it now, are able to look back because we're on the other side of it and realize just how insane and idiotic and chaotic it was. You know,
a dodge to Dopey to Dave.
Yeah.
I mean, the stories they're important to tell. I mean, it's part of your history, and you know, some of them are really crazy. But thank God you're here to tell them, and you're clean now.
Yeah,
that's great.
And hearing them for me is like a reminder of, you know, being on the other side of it for a little bit now. It's easy to forget how bad things were. You know, like terminal forgetfulness here of the really bad times. So it's good to be reminded of just that misery and pain that we went through.
Yeah, it's like you need to laugh about it.
Yeah,
like you need to become okay with it and just I don't know. You know what I mean? I got sober to have fun and like not be miserable all the time. So
good for you.
But
So do we want to take a little pause here and do our little mid-wrap PSA announcement? And then there's still a bunch more to Jersey Mike's story, and looking forward to tuning back into that and hearing how you got better. And there's some more interesting parts to this. And, you know, you got a great life now, and I think it's important to highlight that and all the good stuff that's been going on lately. And, you know, not without its own struggles, though. So, yeah, I think we're going to be tuning in for our PSA/mid-wrap now. I want to thank everybody for tuning into the Play It Forward project. Again, please follow us on Instagram. Let us know that you're listening. Let us know what you think. SBU.playitforward. You can check us out on YouTube. And, yeah, we're looking forward to hearing you. Send us some questions, please. Let us know what you think of Jersey.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
We will be right back with our special guest, Mike Barker, a.k.a. Jersey Mike. You are listening to WUSB Stony Brook, 90.1 and 107.3 FM. We'll be right back.
It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Thank you.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Thank you, Wizzy. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to Play It Forward, WUSB Stony Brook. I'm happy to have Mike Barker, Jersey Mike, with us today. So let's pick up where we left off.
Jersey in the house.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe we'll like shift into the whole rehab scene, detox scene, and what that was looking like, and then get into Hope House. We got a half hour left, so 20 minutes left.
Yeah. So
what was the turning point for you to go to your first program?
I mean, I wouldn't say for me, maybe like my mom was just sick.
Okay, yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah, just sick of me stealing and just crying that I'm sick and I can't do this. I need money for this. I need whatever. You know what I mean? Just making all these excuses just pretty much to get money. And,
right.
And just being sick all the time. And
she was sick of
sick
you
of me
being sick all the time. Yeah, yeah, totally.
And
so you just did it to appease her. You really didn't have much
like,
desire to.
It's not that like I didn't think like I don't know what I think. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go back home and keep getting high.
Yeah.
But when I got home,
you went back to
like, you know what I mean, like and like you know what I mean, nothing changed.
Yeah,
nothing changed.
Nice little vacation.
Yeah, and so I went to my my first detox and was there for like I think
where was
7
that? Was that in
days.
Jersey?
Yeah, in New Jersey.
How old were you then?
25, 24.
Okay.
And so yeah, went there. Like didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I remember I took my Suboxone too early, and I got even like
you got super sick, precipitated withdrawals. Yeah.
And just had to deal with that.
That's miserable. That happened to me too.
I don't know how many times I did that.
Oh,
Like,
it was awful.
Like knowing it's going to happen, but what if? Like,
yeah.
But
because God forbid you're sick.
Yeah.
It's like I remember doing that, like just anything to avoid being sick, the chance of being sick. I'm like, I'll take this early, and oh, now I'm great. Now I'm sick.
Yeah. And then like whatever, I got all Suboxone, and like the next day, and like felt good. And, And
it's like almost exciting those first times. Like it's like, oh, you're meeting all these people, and like everybody's so nice to you, and
and it was like I was still on my mom insurance, so like it was a decently good,
nice, some good food,
and just eating eating crazy,
so much cereal,
cereal,
so much
like,
sugary cereal.
We're making like peanut butter and jelly with butter and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
nice.
Because you weren't eating like that. When
no,
yeah.
no. And and it was just like whatever.
Yeah.
Then I got home. And like maybe a day or two later, just kept doing the same thing. Like maybe I made
back
a
to
meeting,
it.
maybe I did. I really can't remember.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? I did that a couple more times, and I remember one of the times I went to a detox, and like then I did like 2 weeks because my insurance got cut off, and like. This place, like, I wouldn't say saved my life, but it was definitely where, like, my real journey started.
Okay.
And so I met with my counselor, and we're talking about, like, just like, she's like, oh, like, I was telling her just, like, my story, and then she brought up my dad, like, oh, what's your dad like? I was like, oh, he passed away, and then, like, I started crying.
Yeah.
Like, and then...
just finally ready to kind of let it out.
And... So and like we had to tell her, like our group had to tell their stories in front of like all the people that was in our group and stuff. And like I was like, I knew that was happening. I was like,
yeah.
And then she's like I cried in front of her and everything. And
did you do it in front of the group?
Oh no, yeah. No, so this was just me and her.
Okay.
And then she's like, oh, and by the way, you're telling your story tomorrow.
Nice.
And like I just got there, you know what I mean? Like,
she knew what she was doing. She's like, I'm throwing this guy right into it.
And I'm like, oh man, like
you're
now I'm like,
in.
I'm writing like it down what to say.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like, a couple of guys like, bro, like
just
speak
wing
from
it.
the heart,
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I told my story, and then I talked about my dad, cried in front of them.
Oh yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? Like, thank God, like no one was like a jerk about it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
everyone's,
totally.
Like, all loving and like saying.
Yeah,
like,
how are they going to be? That's a bold move if you try to be a jerk in that.
Yeah,
you know?
Do you remember how that made you feel when you opened up like that to everyone and really let it out?
Oh, like a weight was lifted off my shoulder. Like you know what I mean? I was able to breathe again. It was almost like I don't want to say that. I was gonna say like it was like the first time I did dope. But
Yeah. But that feeling
lighter.
that you were missing almost. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
And was that the place before Hope House?
No, that
Okay.
was
This is a while
yeah,
back then.
yeah, a while
Okay.
back. And then I was there for 2 weeks. Got my insurance got cut off, and I had to go back home. And but I had a friend who was pretty much someone I used with and everything, and he was involved in the 12 steps and
Okay.
everything. So right away when I first got out, we didn't make a movie. We didn't make a we didn't make a meeting, but I remember we went to the movies, and but then the next day we went to a meeting together, and
You still talk to him?
not as much.
Yeah. Is he still sober?
No,
No.
he's going through his own things,
Okay.
I guess. But yeah.
Yeah.
But you saw, you know what I mean? Like we used together. We
Right.
used to skate together.
Right.
Like everything. Our
Now you're
parents
gonna
are friends.
Try recovery together.
Yeah. Well, he's in Jersey, so but
I don't want to cut you off, but I do want to skip towards the latter half of your
Oh, yeah,
journey
yeah,
because we are running out of time, and I
Okay,
want to
yeah.
I want to hear the recovery stuff and what you've been doing. So you went to Hope House, right?
yeah. So
And that was
meanwhile, I relapsed again, everything, and this was during COVID, and I didn't know what to do. I got evicted from my house, and then one of the ladies I was staying with, she was like, she told her neighbor oh, if you see some sketchy guy here, he's all right. He's just going through it. We're trying to get him into a rehab, and they knew of a spot, and they're like, oh, we could get him in this and that, and
Wow.
and this was Hope House, and so
you came there, and how long were you in the program for?
I was in the program for 22 months.
Okay.
Wow.
And
That's amazing.
I was doing everything right too. So.
Yeah, yeah.
So when
Listen, you hear that, Father
18
Frank?
you hear 18 months. It's not 18.
Well, that's
months,
what,
but-
we used to be 12 to 18 months, and now, anytime I speak about it, it's it's an 18 to 24 month program.
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
But
That's how long it takes.
yeah.
No, but yeah, honestly, no,
Was there anything
no.
eye-opening there for you? Was there any aha moments where something clicked, or
I
just
wouldn't-
kind of the end of the road for you?
It was definitely I wouldn't say the end of the road, but just being there. We had a good group of guys when I was there. I had
Was that the longest you had clean too while you were there?
um
For those 22 months, was that the longest clean period you had?
no, I had 3 years before that.
Okay.
And you know what I mean, fell off, stopped
Yeah.
doing the recovery thing, just doing my
Is that
own
what it
thing.
was? You stopped?
That's honestly that's every time I've relapsed, it's I think I got this.
Right.
I don't even say think I got this, but
Yeah, you get lazy,
yeah,
complacent.
I'll make a meeting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow comes, I'll make it this and that, and
You
stop.
have to put
stop-
the work in every day.
Oh yeah, and
I always think that's interesting because when we're in program, we're so engaged. When you're in rehab, you're doing stuff every day. You're feeling at least for me, I felt better than I ever had. And
Yeah.
then if you stop doing those things and you stop being involved, you stop being engaged, you stop doing everything that you did to create the foundation that you have, and then everything starts to crumble and you're not sure why it's crumbling, and you're like, why am I feeling like this? And it's well, let's stop and take a look and
Yeah.
rewind a little bit, and let's start doing what we were doing the whole time.
yeah, and I also want to throw out there everyone's journey is different.
Yeah.
I'm into the 12 steps, but that doesn't have to be your journey. Don't
Mm-hmm.
think you know what I mean, there's so many other things out there, and I know I had friends who are I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And then they figured out their own thing.
Yeah,
and
cool.
It's working
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
them. And,
whatever works for
yeah.
you.
Absolutely.
I don't care how you get there, just get
Yeah.
there.
The 12 steps worked for you.
Yeah. Working for me.
Working.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Change that
right,
word.
so but this is I want to talk about this real quick. So you go through the 22 months at Hope House, right? You're in
Yeah.
the program there. Did you stay afterwards? And how long did you stay
I
afterwards?
stayed afterwards for 2 years.
Okay. So you were there for a total of how many years?
4 years, I think.
Yeah, almost
something
4
like
years,
that.
right?
Yeah.
And you were working. You were
Yeah.
working at a restaurant,
Yeah.
Savino's over in
Yeah,
Mount
shout out
Sinai.
to Zavino's.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to
Oh,
Joe.
wow,
Yeah,
Savino's.
Big Joe.
But yeah, and everyone they were supportive. It was just pretty much once I got out, it was more also being involved.
Yeah.
I would also there'd be days I'd be I don't want, you know what I mean? I don't want to like help out.
Yeah,
or, like,
right.
Why do I gotta clean the kitchen
Yep.
when I'm working
Yep.
and this guy's doing nothing?
Right.
But like, as like talking to people and people bringing me down a couple notches, like I was living there for free, like grateful to be there. I wanted like the friends, like I've met like pretty much people I could call brothers now.
For sure, yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like just the stuff, everything Father Frank gave me, Charlie Russo gave me.
Yeah,
Like
that whole support system, all that love and support is just
like,
so important. So you did all that, and then you left. You moved in.
Well, first I and that too, like it's like, oh, it's time for me to leave. Like this is not real life. Blah blah blah. And so I left, and I went to move in with my friends in Jersey, and just what, not like any bad reason. It just wasn't working out.
Yeah.
And then I met my girlfriend, and then I was like, for her to come see me in Jersey, for
Right.
me, it was just too much, and just like, why don't we move in together?
Right.
And that's what we did, and it's been working great ever since.
Yeah,
like,
she's awesome. Shout out to
Yeah.
Erin. Hi, Erin.
Shout out to Erin. What's up, babe?
Aw. Hi, Erin.
But like that too, like I'm so lucky to have like someone, like she's held me down, like she's, you know what I mean, there's no like,
Well, yeah, and
worry
it has not
or-
been easy.
Oh no, yeah,
You know,
let me,
and I want to get to that part because I think that's.
let me throw. So
we should have had Erin come.
oh no, yeah, Kurt said
I
it,
think we
but
should do a
she's-
follow up. I think it'd be
she's
really cool
working.
to have
Yeah.
Erin come in
Yeah.
and give her side of things too, and
Yeah, and
we'll see.
No, she'll definitely do it.
Yeah,
You better.
yeah,
But so long story short, I stopped being involved, stopped talking to my support, stopped going to 12 steps, and slowly started thinking I need weed because I have anxiety.
right.
And no, weed is okay because
Yeah, as long as I'm not doing this.
It's legal.
Yeah, and so I started smoking weed, and then that too, like just seeing like my addiction side on that, like I had like every other day I had to buy more, like I had to have 3 of everything,
Just
like,
off to the races right
just
away.
like, yeah, just like I just like if I just thinking that I had nothing or
Yeah.
thinking I was gonna go a day without it,
Yeah.
like I was stressing about
So you're
it.
back
Yep.
in the addict mind.
Yeah, right away. And I
And
was
now
doing
you're
it
living
before
with
work,
Erin,
'cause-
and-
yeah, and like she didn't really know how.
The extent of it.
Yeah.
We're master manipulators. I mean, like,
Yeah.
we'll let you know exactly, like, however much you need to know, you know, and no more than that.
And
Yeah.
we'll make it look
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
And
You became complacent with your
Oh, yeah,
sobriety.
and
A bullcrap artist, as His Holiness Father Frank would say.
yes, and then so just one day, like not even one day, like before even like I started like watching more drug videos, watching I would look up Patterson on like YouTube, like during summertime, and like just like there'd be some guy like driving the blocks, and you just see everyone hanging out on the blocks, and I was like,
Oh, that's the spot.
yeah, like, I was like, oh, like I missed that.
Yeah.
Summertime in Patterson, everyone's on the block.
And started
And-
glorifying it all
Or,
over
like,
again.
And then one day I was just like, I had to go to Jersey to like pick something up from my mom's house, and like deep down I knew what I was doing.
Right.
Triggering.
Yeah, and I was like, let me just get one, and
Get one.
whatever, one bundle, not bag, bundle, and which is 10 bags, and
And so you knew what you were doing.
I knew I
you
was
knew
doing
you were going to do
yeah.
it. And like, what was your mindset in that time of I'm going to go do this? I have this whole life that I've created. I'm going to throw it all away.
I didn't think like that. I was like, okay, I'll have fun this one time.
Yeah,
and, like
okay.
I knew it.
There you go, yeah.
and I'll just smoke weed.
Yeah.
and I'll get back to
Yeah,
back
this
on
is just
track.
a one-time thing. I'll just have a little fun.
Yeah, and like
I put a lot of work in and time in. I can do this.
not even that, but just like what I mean. Like I just like don't get me wrong. Like I know when I put dope in like I know
Yeah.
anything in my system, but like especially dope, like I'm going like it's not a one time use.
Yeah.
Like
You
and,
can't
like,
use dope recreationally.
yeah. And I was thinking of like people that used to do that, like who weren't like really addicts, like they'd do it once a week and stuff like that. And I went back to like, oh, I used to do it once a week. It'll be all right. Like, no. And like once I put anything in my system, like it's like my mind changes. Like everything's like back to the old habits.
Yeah.
And so whatever, I got it. I did it. I was walking my dog, and so like we went on like around the block.
You went
and
back
then-
home, right?
Yeah, I went back home. I mean, I did one bag as I was driving home, and then the next day,
Was it like the first time all over again?
yeah, I was cleaning the house. The house was
Yeah.
spotless. Like,
Yeah.
like I was acting like I put the lights on Erin's side of the bed on and closed my light, like just so she couldn't see my eyes.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was sketchy.
Yep.
And but so then the next day I did some more, and I walked my dog, and I fell out. I overdosed, and he ran to the neighbor's house. Like they have a dog too, so
Your dog ran to the
ran
neighbor's
and
house?
like started scratching on their door, and they're like, oh, like why is Chesney at the door? Like, and then they're like, oh, why is Mike on the ground? Like,
Oh my
and then he
God.
was an ex-cop. He ran out, gave me CPR, called the cops, the ambulance. They came and got me. Went to the hospital, and what happened? Like I went.
Aaron called us.
No, yeah. So Erin called all the guys, and
She knew what happened.
yeah, she had an idea, and she didn't know I went there for that, like, but she was just like I don't know, like, and they're
Worried.
like the cops were like, you do know if you're hiding anything like from him, you're gonna get in
really?
trouble, and like she's like, I don't know, like he was clean before this, like I don't know.
Right.
Do you think
But
it was
that's
your
just-
tolerance level that?
Oh, the fentanyl and
Oh,
tolerance.
is there fentanyl in it?
Yeah, that's all. That's all it is anymore. But and then so she called all the Hope House guys, Kurt, all like Country Joe, Pete, whatever, and Chris, and shout out to all you guys. And
I remember I was with Chris. You guys called Chris, and I remember Chris just being like, he like looks at me. He's like, I have no idea what to do right now. And I was like, all right, well, like,
yeah.
rally
And-
the troops.
Yeah, and she was like, she's like, I don't know what to do, blah blah blah, and I think Country Joe was like Aaron, like, don't worry, we got this, we're coming now.
Yeah.
And like that gave her a little ease,
Yeah.
like she knew like it's under control now.
Yeah.
And I know as soon as I got like I was feeling like crummy, and I was like all I wanted to do was just get inside and smoke some weed just to like relieve, like, you know what I mean, just feel a little better. And she's like, no, like, what, like
Yeah.
you just died, and you went, like, I'm like what's the
Yeah. What's
like,
the big deal?
yeah, like why don't you see what I like,
Right.
I need to do this.
Right.
But like but you know what I mean, I listened to her, and then we went I stayed at Pax Christi for a couple of days because
Well, because we came down and we searched your house, right?
yeah.
And what did you still had stuff,
Yes,
right?
yeah. I gave you the bond. You got
Right.
rid of that. She threw out.
But you
the
weren't you
weed.
were you still trying to hide something?
I had a weed vape in
Right.
my pocket, and,
Right.
and I remember like thinking and you like literally
Let me just hold on to this one little thing.
Yeah.
and but yeah, like and then
Because you're
literally-
still in it, you know. I
Oh,
mean,
no,
like
yeah,
you're
yeah,
still,
yeah, like-
you're still. Even though you just, I remember
Literally,
every
like-
time I overdosed, I'm still like, as soon as I come to, I'm in the ambulance, I'm in the hospital, whatever. I'm like, I got to get the heck out of
Yeah.
here so I can go use the rest of my stuff.
Yeah.
Which is just insane.
Yeah.
It's so insane.
yeah, and
Yeah, that is insane.
Yeah.
yeah.
The same stuff.
Yeah,
That almost killed you.
Yeah, I was trying to sneak a bag out when I gave it to Kurt. Like,
Yeah.
just so I could have one. Like, I just couldn't get out in time.
Wild.
But
But,
you guys, you knew this.
Oh, we were all over it. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
all like.
And he was not as slick as he may have thought he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
either. I mean,
Yeah,
he was
well,
a mess.
You always
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
you are when.
Yeah, and then so then
You go to Pax
I
Christi.
go to Pax Christi for a couple days,
Yep.
and like the plan was the next day to go to St. Charles,
Yep.
but something happened.
They
There was
didn't have a
COVID
bed,
up
right?
there. They didn't have a bed.
Yeah.
whatever, and so then it was just like, why am I staying at Pax Christi when I could go back home? Whatever. So I went back home, and which was good. Like, you know what I mean? There's nothing
Yeah.
in the house. It was
Yeah.
good. And that too, like Erin was like, she looked towards you, Kurt, like
Yep.
for everything. Like,
Yep.
is this allowed? Can I
Yep.
do this?
Yeah, I was getting calls all the time.
Which was like,
Which
it's
is
like-
good though, but that's what you got to have.
yeah.
That somebody's got to
Yeah.
be there for people when they're
like,
dealing
this
with all
is
this
new
stuff.
to her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
You
Your
guys
poor
are
girl got
so-
blindsided.
Yeah.
You guys are such a band of brothers.
Gotta
I'm
be.
just so
Gotta be. We're
amazed by
No,
Lucky
your
enough to have
group.
made it, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely an awesome.
So you and then you what wound up happening?
So I was in PAX for a little bit.
Right, you
and
went
then-
home.
But before that, like, I was like, oh, there's the weed shop
Oh, right.
close by.
Right.
So I I got a vape. You know what I
Right,
mean? Had some
right.
money. Had, like, you know what I mean? Enjoyed it while I was there.
Yeah,
nothing
yeah, why not?
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and gave it to whoever when I left, and then it was just like I think that, like, it was like a Monday or Friday. I had the bed open for St. Charles.
Yeah.
Went to St. Charles. You know what I mean? Like, nothing new. Same.
Yeah,
Same.
of course.
Did it before. Like,
Yep.
one of the I knew a guy that was already there, and all we did was pretty much like hung out, like worked out, and made meetings. And I remember Erin. It was my 1 month, I guess, anniversary. She sent like a little flower gift,
Nice.
and I'm like, this is not my sober date. Like,
Right.
I used.
Right,
like,
right, right.
you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
totally.
Like,
Oh,
and then so I was like, all right, let me wait till like she gets, like, till I see her in person.
Yeah,
and bring
yeah,
it up to her.
yeah.
And then that too, like, as soon as I got out, like, hey, like, I need to tell you something, like, that's not like I smoked weed when I was in PAX. And like, why didn't you tell? Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of
Like,
course.
but you did tell her. You
Yeah.
ended up coming clean.
Oh no,
Yeah,
yeah, but
yeah.
like, yeah, she was
Yeah,
just,
at the time she's, you know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you got to be kidding me, like this
Yeah,
freaking
yeah,
this-
exactly.
this
She's like,
nut.
all this and like,
Yeah, and you still.
Yeah.
I know it's the insanity, man. It's the addiction that people. I feel like if you don't have it, it sounds so asinine that
yeah.
you would go out and do something like
Yeah.
that. But yeah. So what's different now? I mean, like you've
So-
been in, this was 8 months ago, right?
yeah.
So you
Yeah,
got
yeah,
you're
8
around 8 months.
ago.
Yeah, you're really engaged now. You're doing 12
I'm
steps.
engaged in 12 steps. I finished my steps, like, and you never finish them, but like,
Yeah,
but
went through them.
went through the steps. Maybe like 2 months ago.
You have a sponsor.
I make meetings. Could I be a little, like, I was just sharing about this in a meeting, like, sometimes my recovery is like a roller coaster. Like,
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm making meetings all the time, and like lately now I just been like, well, I don't want to say falling off, but like I make my home group and I make like maybe another meeting here and there.
Yeah,
But like I need to call myself out like that and,
Yeah.
and tell my network about it, and now you know what I mean, in the process of going.
and that's the importance of having that network, is so that
Yeah.
people can hold you accountable,
Yeah.
you know, and so that people can call you out on it and say,
Yeah.
hey, listen, we haven't seen you, where have you been? And it gets the wheels turning, you know.
Yeah.
And we know these things ourselves, whether we want to admit them or not, and sometimes we just need to have the spotlight shown on them a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, network is huge. Being involved, and you definitely need a sober network and people who care about
Yeah,
you.
and just staying honest, you know,
Yeah.
getting honest with somebody, whoever that is.
Yeah,
empathy and kindness goes a long way.
Yeah, for sure.
Compassion.
key.
Yeah. Care about these people that are in
Yeah.
recovery and trying to stay strong. Your story is amazing. Want to thank you
Yeah,
so
thanks
much.
for coming on, buddy.
for
I wish
sharing.
that, yeah, this went by so fast. I mean, you did a great job, and there's
Yeah.
so much more that we could have talked about, but
Yeah, next
really
time,
glad that
Aaron.
you got on. We'd love to have Erin come on too, and
Yeah,
she can
shout out
share
to
her
Erin.
experience with all this. And, you know, thanks to her for keeping you in line. And, you know, you got a great girl and great support, and happy to see you doing well.
Yeah, we're gonna all keep fighting together.
That's
right?
right.
Speaking of which, I want to give a quick shout out to our advocate friends, Kurt. Right?
Yeah.
Who did we get to meet the other day?
We got to meet the wonderful governor of New York, as well as some of her staff.
And who is that? Kathy Hochul. Governor
Yes.
Kathy Hochul. We got
Yes.
to meet the other day. Shout out to Carol Tortier, Lori Carbonaro, Paulette Felipe, Larry Lemondola, Corrine Kaufman, of course, Kurt, Sharon Richmond, and Stephanie, I don't know how to say her last name, Marcasuano.
That sounds nice. Marcasuano?
Marcasuano,
Yeah.
yes. Great group of people. We're all going to keep fighting together.
That's right.
Thanks again, Mike, for coming on the
Yeah.
show.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's important to keep sharing these stories. Let's get rid of the stigma, people.
Yeah.
Right? I sincerely thank everyone who supports our cause and understands how important it is to look out for each other and to empathize with anyone you know dealing with addiction. Let's continue to spread awareness about the dangers of illicit fentanyl and promote harm reduction tools like Narcan and fentanyl test strips. Reach out to us via Instagram. Follow us, sbu.playitforward, for more recommendations. So you have we're going to... Everyone, reach out to SAMHSA if you need some help.
Yeah, we have SAMHSA at 1-800-487-4889, Hope House Ministries, hhm.org, 631-928-2377. LICAD is great as well. They have tons of different programs and resources, 631-979-1700. And check out beyondtheopioidcrisis.com to check out some strategies for hope amidst the opioid and fentanyl crisis.
We hope our message reaches somebody. So
and don't forget to check us out on Instagram at sbu.playitforward. Please give us some, let us know what you thought of Jersey. He's great.
Yeah,
He's awesome.
yeah.
You can follow him. He'd love to hear from you. Offer some help and support. And so for now and always, keep playing it forward.
All right, Jersey.
Thank you,
that
everyone.
was great.
Thank you.
And we have a song that Mike would like to play as well.
Yes. This song is... Why don't you introduce it, Mike?
But really quick, tune in. We actually have a special show next Friday, August 16th at 1 p.m. We have Kamal Burwani on. He's an advocate extraordinaire, lost his son in a Mohegan Sun casino to fentanyl poisoning, and he is fighting this crisis in Washington and collaborating with big tech. We have some really cool, really big announcement that he's going to be sharing with us. So please tune in next Friday at 1 p.m.
Thank you, Wizzy.
Yes,
WUSB.
thanks, Wizzy.
And, of course, Mike Barker.
Jersey Mike.
What's the song, Jersey?
Song is She's All Right by Matty Reynolds.
All right. You are listening to WUSB Stony Brook 90.1 and 107.3 FM. Be well, everyone, and look out for each other. Thank you.
Girl, you tell your mom I'll marry her someday.